Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to install ArgoCD on Minikube using Helm chart. Right. So as you can see, this is my article. So we are going to follow this, right? So in my previous session, we have learned how to install ArgoCD on Minikube, right? So in this session, we are going to learn how to install ArgoCD on Minikube using Helm chart. So let's start. So first of all, as you can see here, prerequisites. So in prerequisites, first of all, we need to install Minikube. Then we need a kubectl and we need to install Helm, right? So let's start. So first of all, we need to install Minikube, right? So here, as you can see, this is my article, how to install ArgoCD on Minikube and deploy an app, right? So here, I'm going to install Minikube from here, right? So as you can see the step, install Minikube. So first of all, we need to install Minikube. So I'm going to install Minikube from here. So first of all, you need to update your system package, right? Okay. And here I have successfully launched my instance, right? And now let's install Minikube first. So first of all, let's update our system package. So here I have successfully connected to my terminal and now I'm going to update my system package. So as you can see, it's done. Now let's clear the screen. Okay. And now the next step is install below package for Minikube, right? So let's install this package. So yeah, it's done. Let's clear the screen. Okay. Now the next step is let's install Docker. So we need a Docker, right? So I'm going to install Docker. So yeah, I want to install. So yeah, it's done, right? Okay. Now the next step is configure to run Docker with sudo permissions, right? So for that, I'm going to run these two commands to give this permission. Okay, and the next command is here. Okay, it's done. Now after that, to check whether virtualization support is enabled or not your machine. So let's check. Okay, now let's clear the screen. Then next is install the KVM and the other tool on this Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. So I'm going to install KVM. Yes, I want to install. Because here we are going to start our Minikube using KVM. So that's why we need to install KVM as well as Docker, right? So we need a KVM to start our Minikube. So that's why here I'm going to install KVM. So as you can see, it's almost done. So it takes few seconds. Yeah, it's almost done, right? Okay, so let's press enter. Okay, it's done. Now let's clear the screen. Okay, so we have successfully installed KVM. After that, add the user to the to this libort group. So we need to add this user to this particular group. So let's run these two commands to add this user to this group. So firstly, Ubuntu is already a member. After that, okay, it's done. Add him to this Ubuntu, this particular group. Okay, let's clear the screen first. Now the next step is here, reload the group. So for that, let's run these two commands to reload our group. Okay, it's done. Now the next step is to download latest Minikube setter for this official document, official download page, right? So if you want to install the latest Minikube, then you can go to the official document download page, official page of Minikube, right? So you can download the latest version. So I'm going to use this command to install Minikube. So yep, it's done. Now the next step is let's install Minikube. Okay. Now let's check the version of our Minikube. Okay, as you can see the version and the commit and so on. Okay. Now the next step is install kubectl. As you can see, the second prerequisite is we need a kubectl. So that's why here I'm going to install kubectl on Minikube, right? So first of all, we need to install Minikube, and after that we need to install kubectl. So let's install kubectl. Okay, it's also done. Now then makes the kubectl binary executable. So that's why we need to run this command. Then next make the kubectl binary executable. Okay, and now after that to check kubectl version or Ubuntu. So as you can see the details, client version, build date, compiler, git commit, and version, and my major, minor, platform, customize version, and so on. Okay, now let's clear the screen. Okay, now the next step is here, let's start our Minikube, right? So here we have successfully installed Minikube, we have successfully installed kubectl. Now here we have we need to install Helm, right? Right. So before installing Helm, let's start our Minikube. Okay, let's check. So here I'm going to start my Minikube. So as you can see, it's starting. So it takes few seconds to start our Minikube. So wait for few seconds. So as you can see, it's creating Docker container. So we need to two CPUs and the memory is 2200 MB, right? So it's creating Docker container with this memory and CPU. So it takes few seconds. So wait for few seconds. Okay. Next is here, as you can see, generating certificates, booting up control plan, then configuring, and now it's done, right? So as you can see here, done. And the kubectl is now configured to use Minikube cluster and default namespace by default. So that means we have successfully start our Minikube, right? Okay. Now the next prerequisite is we need a Helm. Right, to install ArgoCD on Minikube using Helm, we need to install Helm, right? So let's install Helm. So here I'm going to Install Helm from the official site of Helm. As you can see, this is the official site of Helm, right? You can see. So you can go to the Helm official site and you can download from here. So as you can see, the commands to download, to install Helm. So first of all, download using curl. So I'm going to download using curl. Okay, and then next is let's install Helm. Let's give this a permission to this Helm using chmod command. And now let's install Helm using this command. Okay, it's done. If you want to check the version, then you can run the command Helm version. And as you can see, the details of about your Helm version 3.13.1 and git commit and so on. Right, that means you have successfully installed Helm. Okay, now let's clear the screen first. Okay, so let's go to the article. And as you can see here, three prerequisite. First of all, Minikube, then second, kubectl, and third one is Helm. So we have successfully installed these three: Minikube, kubectl, and Helm. Okay, now let's start. So first of all, here the first step is we need to install ArgoCD using Helm, right? So let's install ArgoCD using Helm. So at first you need to connect to the cluster in Minikube or Kubernetes, right? So then clone this public repository using below command. So okay, we have successfully installed Minikube, we have successfully installed kubectl, right? Okay, so we have successfully start our Minikube, right? Okay, now let's clone this repo. So I'm going to clone this repo using this command delete clone and the repo URL. So as you can see, it's cloning. So okay, it's done. Now if I run the ls command, so the repo name is here, Argo Helm, right? Okay. Now the next step is here, change the directory or the folder where you need to install Argo using this Helm chart. So that's why let's inside the Argo Helm. That means this repo, and in this repo go to the Helm folder and go to the ArgoCD folder. Okay, now let's clear the screen. Now if I run the ls command, as you can see in this location, chart.log, chart.yaml, readme, then readme.md, then templates folder, and then values.yaml file. Okay, now the next step is here, we need to run the below command to create a namespace, right? So here we have name my argo, right? So here I'm going to create my namespace, and my namespace name is my argo. So the command is like that, kubectl create ns means namespace and this my argo, right? So let's create. So as you can see, namespace my argo created. Okay, now the next is here, you can modify any custom values in values.yaml, but for now we will process using this default values.yaml. So let's update the dependencies in this chart by executing the below command. So the command is helm dependency up. So as you can see, it successfully got an update from this chart repository, right? Okay. Now here, as you can see, let's install Argo using Helm command, right? So here we are going to installing ArgoCD using Helm command. So the command is helm install my argo, my namespace, right? My namespace, then dot hyphen f, then values.yaml, then hyphen n, and again my argo, my namespace. So let's install. So it takes few seconds to install. So as you can see, it's done, right? So you can see here, namespace, myargo status, deploy, revision 1, test suite none, and the nodes, right? So first of all here, kubectl port, and here you can see the URL, open this browser on your machine, right? Then after that, then enable ingress and so on, then setup. Okay. After that, here you can see in note, if you come across the following error, please follow these steps, right? So here, as you can see, I don't have any errors, you can see, right? But if you have error, then the solution is here. If you face the above issues with CRDS, then commit CRDS install values and false it values.yaml file, right? So you can go to the values.yaml file, and here in install upgrade CRDS install, you can replace this true with false. Okay. Okay. Now the next is okay. The next step is here you can see check the status of ArgoCD installation, right? So here how to check our status of ArgoCD installation. So the command is here. Once the installation is complete, let's see the pods running or not, right? So the command is like that kubectl get pod means po and -n and then my namespace name. Okay. So let's check our pods running or not. So first of all, I'm going to clear the screen first. So as you can see, all of is running. Ready 1 of 1 and the status is running and restart 0 and the age is 2 minutes ago. Okay. Now the next is after ensuring the pods are running, then pod forward the ArgoCD service to access the service from the browser. So let's access our ArgoCD in our browser. So how to access? So first of all, here we need to run this command to access, right? So the command is like that kubectl port forward svc, then my ArgoCD server, then -m, then my namespace name, address, and here I have mentioned 0.0.0.0. That means any IP address, right? And my port number is 8080. So you need to open this port 8080 on your security group. Okay. Okay. So let's copy the command and let's hit on your terminal. Okay. So it's forwarding from this IP address, right? And the port number is 8080. So let's access our browser. Access in our browser. So first of all, let's copy your instance IP and hit on browser, and the port number is 8080. Okay, after that, as you can see, we have this page. Okay, then you can see here. Now we can go to this browser and open this instance. Okay, now you will see the privacy warning, right? So just ignore the warning and click on this advanced. Okay, so go to the advanced and then go to the proceed. Okay, so as you can see, this is our ArgoCD login page. So let's get stuff deploy, and it will ask our username and password. So username, default username is admin. Okay, so the password. So for password, we need to run the command. So which command? So here, get the initial password for the admin user to this login. So here, let's copy the command to get our password. And here it's running, right? So I'm going to open my duplicate terminal, and here I'm going to run this command to get my password. Okay, sorry. Here, as you can see, ArgoCD name, right? So my namespace is my Argo, right? So as you can see, after running this command, here you can see my password. So my password from here to here. So I'm going to copy this password and hit on browser. And now click on sign in. So as you can see, this is our ArgoCD dashboard, right? So you can see the application, settings, users, and the documentation, right? Okay. So this is our this is our dashboard of ArgoCD. Now after that here, if you want to deploy an app on ArgoCD, so how to deploy? So first of all, here go to the new app. Then here enter an app name. So our app name is here. So our app name is Guestbook. So let's enter Guestbook to our app name. Then project name, I'm going to keep it default. Then sync policy manual. Then after that source. So here we need to enter our repository URL. So here my repository URL will be like that. connect to this repository to the ArgoCD by setting repository URL. So I'm going to enter this repository URL from here. Then revision head, and here we need to enter a path. So here I'm going to enter a path guestbook. Okay. Then go to the destination. So here we need to enter a cluster URL. So my cluster URL here. And the namespace is default. Okay. So it's done. Now click on create. Okay, so as you can see, our guest book, then project name is default, the status is missing out of sync, right? Then repository, target, path, destination, name, and create timing and date. Okay, now click on this guest book. Okay, so go to the applications and click on this sync and click on synchronization. Right, as you can see, the status is progressing, synced. So go to the guest book. So as you can see, the status is progressing. So wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, now it's healthy. So click on guest book. Okay. So as you can see here in applications, the status is healthy and the status is synced, right? And the create and last sync, you can see the timing and date. Okay. So that's the, here we have deploying an app on ArgoCD, right? Okay. So it's done, right? So here we have covered first of all how to install Minikube, then how to install kubectl, then how to install Helm, and after that here we have learned how to install ArgoCD on Minikube using Helm chart. So thank you for watching.